what do you need to maximize your profitability? It's gonna start here. First thing you're gonna want is something called a repricer, right? Now what's that? How Amazon works, they're always gonna prioritize who has the best price. So if you heard of something called a buy box, where when you're shopping on Amazon, you know how they have that add to cart and buy now feature? When a buyer goes on it, what are they looking for? They just go and add to cart and buy now. They're not looking to see all other sellers on the product. And what happens is who's in the buy box that is determined by who has the lowest price. Also who has the most units, etc. like that. But pricing is so important as well. Let's just say everyone on the listing is at $20, right? You know you can sell this product as low as $15 and you're still profitable. And someone comes in the listing and all of a sudden they're like, hey, I'm gonna price this at $18. What a repricer's job to do in this case is to say, hey, let's jump down here. Why? Because your repricer's job is to make sure you're maximizing total profit, not profit per sale. And if you had $20, you're not going to get any sales. So your repricer is going to drop you down right here. If someone goes to 17, it'll drop you down to 17. All the way down to it hits whatever you set the floor price at. At the same time, when this seller at $18 is going out of stock, repricer's job is to say, okay, boop, 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 boop. Let's get back up here. If not, if everyone at 20 is out of stock, it might say, let's go to 22 or 23. You set the min and the max. And this job is to just bounce up and down and up and down to make sure it's maximizing profitability, right? So important. When you have like 5 products, 10 products, yeah, you can manage it, but you can't catch in the middle of the day when you're sleeping, all these other things. Reprice is an AI tool that you're gonna need to actually make sure you're maximizing your profitability. It's cheap as maybe $50 a month. The one we use about $500 a month. But until you scale up to like maybe 200,000, you don't really need one of that nature, so you can use a cheap one for sure. But making sure you have a repricer is mandatory for maximizing your profitability. Ones that we recommend are like BQ, Go, Aura. You got Seller Snap is the more expensive one that we use, but these are the ones that you can definitely get started with and will definitely help you maximize your profitability. Next up, in terms of maximizing profit, we have checking for other listings. Let's use this Blistex as an example. A company like this that sells a tremendous amount of units on Amazon is going to have so many different listings. The funniest thing is, now the rules on Amazon, terms of service, you should only have one listing per product. It is almost never followed. So when you buy this product, you're going to see possibly what? The main listing that's going to have the exact same UPC that's on this barcode over here. So you have your main listing, you have sub listings. Depending on the product, and the more popular a brand is, the more sub listings they're going to have. They're going to have ones that they have the incorrect UPC code. They're going to have ones that have the same UPC code, but they change the name up a little bit. The pictures aren't as good, but you want to make sure when you have a product that you can buy and sell profitably, that you're maximizing. So if there's 10 different listings, we need to be on all 10 for sure. Because if I could only sell maybe 100 units on the main listing, but I could sell 10 units on the second listing, 40 units on the third listing, you know, etc., I'm able to scale up how much money I'm spending with a distributor, which is going to result in more net profitability, right? More money right here. And this, you can take this as far as saying not just on Amazon, you want to definitely expand to other marketplaces, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. The next thing you're going to want, and this is a pretty short video, but please make this actionable, right? Something called multi-packs. And why multi-packs so important? Think about a multi-pack is, let's go back to this Blistex, right? You're going to have your 1-pack, your 1, 2-pack, 3-pack, 6-pack probably, 12-pack. And you're able to, similar to having other listings, you're going to be able to sell on all of these different listings. And with wholesale model, this model becomes so powerful is when you're able to buy one product and make money from it as many different ways as possible. When you tie this in with something like we talked about in number 1, which is your repricer, this is when you really start to be able to grow your business without needing to grow new relationships with new suppliers, buy different brands that you might not be comfortable with, really just using that same product and maximizing the amount of money you're making. Tell me in the comment if you use any of these tools before to really grow and scale your Amazon FBA business. If you haven't, make sure you're doing this. Now, the last 2 steps I'm going to get into this video are going to be so important, but these are things that you kind of want to do a little further down the line, and I'll explain why. Let's go to number 4. Number 4 is going to be other marketplaces. And why is that so important? Amazon is this big dog in the US, right? Amazon sells 36.7% of all online sales. All online sales handled on Amazon. $1.6 billion per day. You cannot beat this marketplace right now. So you need to be on Amazon, but there are so many other emerging marketplaces. You have Walmart is about 6%, right? So about a sixth of the size of Amazon, but that's still massive. My math is probably not the best right now, but what is that? Maybe like 300 million a day or so, 400 million a day. So you definitely want to make sure you're on a site like Walmart because it's emerging and growing. And the thing about a newer marketplace is there's not as much competition. You have something like eBay, It's about 3%. You have emerging marketplaces like TikTok, which is gonna, as long as they don't ban it, and I don't know when I'm dropping this video, but they might have banned it already. I'm not actually sure the percentage on TikTok nowadays because it has been growing so rapidly. I think it's hard to track, but you want to make sure you are capitalizing on all of these marketplaces. Same product, sell it here. Outside of the US, you're gonna want Amazon Canada, Amazon Mexico, Amazon UK for certain products is pretty good. We've even sold in Singapore. You want to make sure that not only are you selling in the Amazon US, the biggest marketplace, but you're taking advantage of the sub marketplaces on Amazon outside the US. Where this becomes so powerful in terms of maximizing profit is not only because you're able to generate more sales, but your profit margin goes up. I was using an example, a product that we sell on Amazon. I sent out an email about it to our list the other day. It was a pet product. We carry about 40 SKUs. We buy about 123K per month, right? And we're operating around a 23% margin. That's cool, but when we went over to Walmart, we were able to spend about another 35 to 40K on the same brand, 40K per month in spend, and we're at a 30% margin. 30% margin. So we're making more money. 7% margin is huge in a business. Without doing any extra legwork, that's huge level you can pull. So we're able to spend $40,000 more on this one brand and increase our margin tremendously across it. This is a win-win situation, and you want to make sure you're doing this across all marketplaces. Think about it. This business is all about ease. You find a winning product and maximize how much money you can make from it. So when you talk about you're adding a repricer, you're on the not just the main listing, but all the other side listings that really shouldn't be there, but they're still there, so we're gonna make that money anyway. You're taking advantage of all the multi-packs where they have different pack counts, and we're using them. And then you are also on the marketplaces. You're well on your way to actually just scaling up the actual profitability of your business. Now I'm gonna go into number 5. Now I love number 5, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I love number 5, and nobody talks about this one. So if you've made it this far in the video, which is not a long video, pay attention. This is called a 4-cent campaign. And why I love the 4-cent campaign, it used to be called a 2-cent campaign. That's what we learned it at. But we raised it up to 4 cents. Now what you do, let's say someone's searching, let's say we're talking about a vitamin D supplement, right? You have the main listing or like the top listing. So you have the, looking on Amazon, you're gonna have your sponsored goods over here, everyone who's paying for ads, etc. You have the number 1 organic product over here that are winning. So this whole row is full of the best organic products. And then we go down Amazon, and we have all these rows. Now, what you want to do is you want to do a 4-cent campaign, meaning that you want to have all of your products in one place, in one ad campaign. And if you don't know how to do this, just go to your ads manager. Really simple. You add them all into one campaign and you put a very low budget on it. That budget is going to be 4 cents per ASIN, right? Per listing, if you don't know what that is, right? What that does is when you are in the buy box, so it only charges when you're in the buy box, right? There's 6 sellers and someone else in the buy box. That's not going to happen. But when you are in the buy box, what is going to happen? Let's say your listing is generally over here when it comes to vitamin D. What it's going to do is, okay, you're running ads on this. If no one else is running ads, it's going to optimize you and pull you up to the top. And what does that do? Well, as we know, shopping on Amazon, people like to buy things that are in this area at the top. You are optimizing when people are not optimizing. Now, 4 cents, it doesn't make a huge difference to anyone. You're going to be making a few dollars per sale, so this 4 cents doesn't move the needle, but it's going to generate you so many more sales. To put some numbers on it, for us, we spent about $36,000 in 2024 on this campaign. It generated us over $900,000 in sale just using it. You see how powerful that is? That is a great ROAS, return on ad spend, or ACoS, whatever you want to call it. You want to make sure that you're always running, putting all of your ASINs, all of your products into this campaign so that on pages that are not optimized, you can end up in this spot and in turn make more money. So I did say this would be a quick video. Wasn't a lot of information, but it's all stuff that you need to put in place. Just as a quick reminder, repricer. Number 2, you want to make sure you're on all of the listings, not just the main listing. Do manual searches on your product. So I'm not just going to scan the UPC code. And if you don't know about this stuff, I'm going to put a link to my free course so you can learn it. I'm not just going to scan the UPC code. I'm going to actually put a manual search for BlitzDex and see all other listings and make sure I'm on them. I'm going to make sure I'm on those multi-pack listings, the 2-pack, 6-pack, 12-pack, all of that stuff. I'm going to have my other marketplaces, which not only brings security to my business, because if my Amazon listing goes down, I have so many other places I can sell it, right? But I'm also going to be running this 4-cent campaign where I'm going to put a little bit of ad spend on this. In those places that it's not optimized, I'm going to be able to generate more and more sales. And overall, this will push up the profitability and margins of your whole business. Make sure you're doing these 5 things. But yeah, I hope this video was helpful, nice and short and to the point. direct, no fluff. But if you want to find out more about how you can actually grow and scale your Amazon FBA business, I'll leave a link below. I'll leave 2 links. One for the people looking for a completely free course. I know there's a ton of that. So we definitely have a free starter course that's going to get you to your first 1,000 a month on Amazon. If you're looking for more one-on-one mentorship, really someone to guide your hand and guarantee your results, like your sales, help you build out your business based on your 6 and 12 month goal, I have the link if you want to apply for our mentorship program. We only take about 8 people a month total between all of them. So it's a little tight, but if you want to, make sure to hit that link. But hope this helped. See you in the next one.